Some stereotypes that Chinese people have of Americans. You guys are really well paid and you don't work overtime thanks to unions and labor's law. Even washing dishes in America can make you a lot of money. That's the reason why many Chinese people dream of washing dishes in America.
Chinese stereotypes for America. First, Americans are all white and blonde. Second, American high school is a mess and everyone is doing drugs or doing relationship that cheats on each other. Third, Americans eat too much McDonald's, so that's why they're fat.
I called someone fat in the US and I regretted it. I was working in a boba tea place years ago in California, and that was the first time I was truly integrating into American social environment. One day, I forgot for what reason, I had a friendly hug with one of my coworkers. I didn't think he was fat at all, but since I was very skinny and I didn't hug anyone for a while, I didn't have any reference of how a normal body should feel like, so I was surprised by the amount of flesh he had. My immediate reaction was, "Oh, you are fat." And then everyone around me was shocked. They told me that this was very rude, and I realized that I messed up. As a background, I grew up in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong, it was totally acceptable to call your friends fat as a way to tease each other, and it wouldn't be viewed as being rude. For example,
so there's a funny nickname that the Chinese citizens have coined for Trump, which is 川建国, means literally build the nation Trump. However, the nation here referred to is not America, but China. Why? Those who came up with the name believe that Trump's China policy, while seemingly unfavorable for China, has actually prompted Chinese people to unite and work harder together.
Some stereotypes that Chinese people have of Americans. Number one, you guys are super rich. Like every family has got a big house and multiple cars. Number two, you guys are really well paid and you don't work overtime thanks to unions and labor's law. Even washing dishes in America can make you a lot of money. That's the reason why many Chinese people dream of washing dishes in America. And you also got tons of vacation days, so you're always traveling the world. Number three is kind of dangerous there. Everybody seems to have a gun. You might get shot just walking down the streets. Number four, you guys are super open about dating. You guys might sleep together on your first date and it's no big deal to you. Of course, these are just some stereotypes, so feel free to correct me in the comment section if the stereotypes are wrong.
China before communism, it looks incredible. Those poor Chinese people and their eradication of extreme poverty. It's just depressing to think about their war on air pollution and how they actually did something about it. They incentivized the purchase of mostly small electric cars to the point where they have a 37% market share versus our 9%. Gather around, Americans, let's all cry about how they got this much high-speed rail in this amount of time. Makes me want to cry, but for different reasons. Oh, and homeownership rates in China? Yeah, it's about 90%. It's just depressing. Thank goodness we have these people to show us China before communism.
The funniest part about the TikTok ban is that Americans are recognizing that the propaganda that they have been told about China is not true at all, but the propaganda that China has been told about American citizens is completely all true. And so let's play Would You Rather. Would you rather live in a country where you have great health care and the cities are clean, people live into old age and have happy lives, people have jobs, media is heavily regulated, industry is heavily regulated? Or would you rather live in a country where you can say and do whatever you want, industry is not regulated, education is very poor, people go bankrupt over their health care, crime is extremely high, but you can, again, say and do whatever you want. So what would you rather have? In America, we love to say that we are the land of the free, but there are 1.8 million people who are incarcerated in this country. They are not free. They are imprisoned for something that they did. So this is not the land of the free, because in other countries, people have much more freedom.
I've been reading so many comments about my Chinese neighbors here, inviting us to come to China. Come to China, come to China. I think you're under the impression that Americans don't travel because we don't want to. We would love to come see your country, but we're broke. We can't afford China. I think you're under the impression that we're all rich over here. There is a very small percentage of Americans that can afford everything. Most Americans can't afford a trip to China. Plus, we don't have the time. We get 2 weeks a year, and that includes our sick time. I think you think that we're a lot better off than we are. I would love to come see your country.
I'm seeing all over my FYP a bunch of disgruntled Americans regarding how America seems more like a third world country and everything that they learned and knew about China is just not true. So if you're mad about the groceries and that they don't have to pay property tax after they pay off their mortgage, let me tell you that they have better work-life balance than we do. So during my doctorate studies at Johns Hopkins, I was sent over to China to do research with the Center of Disease Control. They do have a CDC as well. There's none of this like really super calculated, hey, you take 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch if you work 40 hours, but if you work under 20 hours, you don't get a break except for one 15-minute break. Like, it's just like weird policies that we have in America. No, they have like a lot of freedom to leave work, go get a boba, go get an ice cream, come back. They actually support you taking naps. Like at the CDC, they used to have these like beds for you to go and take a nap if maybe you live too far from work. Otherwise, most people go home during lunch because their lunch hour was like 2 hours. 2 hours was their lunch break. Not to mention the majority of the time we were always leaving to like do PR and like relationships. So social networking is a huge thing over there. Whereas in America, everybody's isolated. You don't even know who your neighbors are, right? Like you just go straight to your house when you come home from work. But not there. Not there. I remember like we would meet other government officials during lunch and then they'll gift us like big boxes of grapes and of course alcohol, and then their alcohol is like 40% alcohol. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna so get drunk and throw up. But we were drinking like during the day, like it was like day drinking, like daytime drinking. And it was because we were social networking with like these people, right? And this was okay. This was almost applauded. And there's always something to do after work. So you don't just go home and pass out and like, I don't know what else we do. Like, it's so toxic in America, but there's always something. So I just remember like flying LED kites, like during the summer, going to the river. Just there's always like an activity. And that's also why they're so slim and they're so much more healthy, because you easily like, you don't just walk 5 miles, the 10,000 steps that is recommended. Like you walk like 10 miles a day. It's like just so easy to do. But yeah, they have better work-life balance, and that whole like, oh, they're them passing out at their desk, working 120 hours. No, bitch. They ain't working 120 hours. I was like given so much liberty and freedom when I was like, and I had my own executive room, which was crazy. They're so polite. They're like, oh, American foreigner, like, let's put her in an executive, like, room. It was so chill. Like, the majority of us were always, like, I think, like, they were even playing video games during work hours. But, I mean, they do work, okay? I want you to think they do work. They get stuff done. But there's just so much liberty. There's none of this, like, toxic clock in and clock out, and this snitch Nancy that's like watching you and your every move just so she could report you to HR. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have that shit.
Ni hao, China. at American.
Hola, China.
Ni hao.
We're moving into the second stage of this video, and it has to do with Americans now praising China, and they can't wait to travel. For those who can afford, they can't wait to travel. You can see the excitement on their faces. It started by them learning the culture, trying Chinese food, and even cooking Chinese food, and learning the language, and so many other things that we've shared on this platform. If you've not watched the video, we have a playlist on Americans on Shanghai. It has over 40 videos that you can watch, and you will understand everything. In the second section of the video, you can see now the excitement. Americans are now showing Chinese, you got it right. You're the ones having it. Everything you believed about us wasn't true. So now we want to travel to your country. Are you ready for us? So in the second stage, we're going to see now the excitement on Americans' faces and them sharing how they feel about traveling to China. I saw a lot of clips, like there were many clips that I came across, but I couldn't bring all of them here. These are just few clips that I was able to put together.
Chinese friends, I miss you so much, and today I'm ready to tell you my secret, and you're the first to know. Thank you for waiting for me all this time, and it took me a week to discuss important changes in my life with my family members. We discussed a lot, and unbelievable, my whole family supported me in this decision, and now it's time to tell you my decision. I'm going to China, your country, and but there's one but. I don't know which city in China should I choose. I want to travel to Beijing, and I want to explore different places, and I'm considering the south of China. Can you please advise me on which city in China would be better?
你们才这个应用让我灵感突发，决定预定一次去中国的旅行。我打算去2周，需要推荐去哪看住哪里做什么，我太激动了，我要去。
Hey everyone, I made it to China today. I'm in Chengdu and I've been invited by Xiao Hongshu, the official team itself.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for all your great advice for us coming to China. We will be there in May and we're super excited to be planning this trip. So thank you again for all your great information. Your comments have been greatly appreciated, and a joyous and prosperous new year to
Good morning, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Okay, so I'm gonna book a trip to go to China, right? Can you guys give me some suggestions on like great places to go? Particularly, I want to go to like Hangdong Studio. So what suggestions do y'all have?
Hey, everybody. I finally got my Chinese visa. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Efficient as hell. Thank you.
The whole TikTok refugee thing was about Americans rebelling against their government by moving on Shanghai, but now Americans are starting to see China with Americans' length based on reality, not on what they were taught and told about China. And now they're in a haste. They can't wait to travel to China. And Chinese I hope this also going to change the way you look at your country and look at the progress that you're making. You're doing amazing. If the people who are your idol are now looking forward to travel to your country and experience the life, the real American dream, then it is time for you to realize that you are really leading, and that you are doing great, and that I know you are told and taught to be humble and not show off, but sometimes it's good to praise yourself at some point, you know. And I'm glad that there are Chinese content creators who are now coming and speaking English, and maybe in Chinese with English subtitles, and we are here to pick your videos and bring them on social media and raise this awareness, and so that we are able to clear the air and we are able to remove these misconceptions that have been there for years against your country. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section, and also you can as well support me through the thank button, and I'll appreciate it. Thank you.